Hello all you magnificent people, Turbo here. So, in the background you'll see that I've recorded the next episode of this series, the next and final episode. This ended up being an hour and a half of basically nothing. I explored many paths and made zero progress. The whole thing was basically a huge waste of time. So, instead of taking up a bunch of time to edit that together and waste all of y'all's time as well, I thought I'd do just a quick little explanation video instead. The TLDR of it is I'm done with this mod and map. There just doesn't really feel like there's any structure or reason to anything, and I feel lost, and I feel like I'm wasting my time. Perhaps if I wasn't literally on a time limit with recording it and all, I'd feel different, but I am, and so I'm not enjoying it. So I'm going to wrap this series up and move on to the next Terraria series, which by popular vote is likely to be Calamity Infernum. If that's all you need to hear, then you can probably tap out now. Rest of this video is just going to be me going a little bit deeper into my feedback on the mod and what happened in the last episode. I've been told that the first half of this mod, most of pre-hard mode, is incredibly sparse in terms of custom content, and yeah, it is. In this episode, I fought one new custom boss, Pinwheel. I'll just go ahead and let that fight play out. So yeah, that was my second attempt at the boss. Probably was supposed to fight him earlier, considering where he was on the map, but whatever. Honestly, wasn't too impressed with the fight, and it mostly just served to further my opinion that this mod kind of seems to discourage using melee. In the Dark Souls games that this is, heavily based on, melee is considered the main option, at least in my opinion. Magic and ranged are technically options, but they are far less viable compared to melee. And this mod kind of feels like the exact opposite. Terraria just wasn't really built for a true melee experience. It just doesn't work very well. And while this mod tries to alleviate that by removing contact damage from enemies and some bosses, there's a couple other things, but it's just not enough. And it feels like ranged and magic would be a far better experience, although not with the dark sign equipped. So for example, in the episode I recorded, I'd switched to ranged at one point to fight the Queen Bee, and it really wasn't much better since I had the dark sign active. Because when you have the dark sign active, shooting guns takes stamina, just like swinging melee, so it was just extremely sluggish and annoying to use. I feel like the dark sign is like kind of an interesting idea when it comes to the Estus healing and all that, but the stamina changes really just ended up being more frustrating than anything. Another thing this mod seems to be trying to do Dark Souls wise is it seems to be trying to emulate the way that Dark Souls never ever tells you where to go. It like maybe gives you like vague hints, but you don't have like a journal tracking your quests. Nobody ever directly tells you where you should be going or what order to do things in. You're just supposed to figure things out, which in Dark Souls works brilliantly. But the problem with doing that in this mod is pretty simple. There's just too many paths. There's too many places to go. There's just too much. Like I said before, this whole episode was just exploring side paths for like an hour and a half. There's literally zero indication of what's a side area and what is the critical path. Everything feels the same. And I ended up finding multiple new dungeons, for lack of a better word, that ended in me just refighting a boss I had already killed and providing nothing in the way of progress. I understand why they did this, you know, to help players get critical items and fight critical bosses no matter which direction they go, but it just ends up bloating the world with a ton of unnecessary ground to cover. The phrase that keeps coming to mind while I play this is a mile wide and an inch deep. There are so many places to go, but it feels like 90% of them are a complete waste of time. In the last episode, I gained flight and a grappling hook, which opened up a huge amount of other areas. All of which I went to in this episode, and none of them helped me in the slightest. I still have no idea where I'm supposed to go. At the end of this hour and a half recording session, I'd still no progress, no idea where to go. I kept running into walls made of ore I couldn't break, and zero hint on where to get a molten pickaxe to break them. I just know that I probably missed the one single side path that takes me to where I need to go, but just, like, look at this map. How the hell am I supposed to find the one little side path I've missed? Especially when so many of the paths are hidden behind 1 block thick walls. Like, it's just ridiculous. Ultimately, I think the main problem that I have with this map is bloat. There's just way too much stuff, and not enough of it is meaningful. Now, if you are someone who has worked on this mod in any way, sorry for all this. It's probably really discouraging and potentially frustrating to hear, but at the end of the day, this is just my opinion and experience with the mod. It's clear an absolutely gargantuan amount of time and effort was put into making all this, and I don't want to ignore that. I encourage anyone watching to go and play this mod and map for yourself. Maybe you'll have a better time than I did. A lot of other people really seem to like it, so maybe I just got like ludicrously unlucky and ended up missing all the good stuff. But either way, I'm gonna end my experience here. Shout out to all the people who heard me say I didn't like things in the first episode and decided to tap out then and there. Good call, honestly. That is gonna do it for this video and series. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Hope it'll be a bit more positive of an experience, but with it being Infernum, I'm honestly not holding my breath. Anyway, Serpo the Magnificent out.